Breath control can change your life. This is a paper from PubMed, How Breath Control Can Change Your Life, a systematic review on psychophysiological correlates of slow breathing. Meaning basically how slow breath affects your body and your mind. Now, most people breathe way too much, myself included. However, this study done in, well, it was published in 2018. It's coming out saying that the amount of breathing that we do, when reduced to less than 10 breaths per second, can drastically affect many parts of our body and our mind, and therefore change our life. One thing to note is that we don't pay attention to the breath at all, unless you're doing a yoga class or you're exercising. However, breath stays with you for the whole duration of your life. So why wouldn't we give it a little more attention to how we do it? Well, I think that's partly because we didn't know we were doing it wrong. We didn't know that it was harming us. There was a scientist that did a study. Let me see if I can find it. Yendel Henderson, the director of the Laboratory of Applied Physiology at Yale, did a study on dogs. And basically he was directing how and how often and how quickly they were breathing. In this study, he forced the dogs to breathe a little bit above their normal state, a little bit above what was natural and necessary for them to maintain properly functioning systems within their bodies. Just a little bit above the baseline that they needed. The dogs exhibited symptoms of being agitated, confused, and glassy-eyed. That's not healthy. Now we have to remember that shallow, rapid breathing, that's the breath pattern of something being chased or in danger. We know that nowadays, a lot of us that don't breathe properly, this is the state that just seems to occur because we have so much going on that we can't relax. We have chores to do, we have bills to pay, we have this job that our whole life hinges on, it seems like. And so a lot of the things that we go through seem like life and death to us. However, even when we go home and we try to relax, maybe we take on a bath, maybe we are just watching TV, whatever it is that we're doing to relax, we might not actually emerge out of that chronically stressed state because we're simply not breathing properly. This study shows that breathing slower, about 10 times per minute or less, that has profound effects on anxiety, arousal state, and blood pressure. Specifically breathing slower, less than 10 times per minute, subjects of these studies, all breathing through the nose, admitted feeling increased states of pleasantness and relaxation. They felt more calm and less agitated. They also felt less angry, anxious, or confused. Another thing that the studies found was actually something very key to health: an increase in heart rate variability and brainwave function, specifically an increase in alpha brainwaves and a decrease in theta brainwaves, which might lead to why the subjects of the study actually felt a lot more alert. Now this means that if you're breathing hurriedly, you're behaving more like something that's in danger. It's been reported that circulation and high blood pressure, as well as problems with the alkalization of the blood, the pH level of the blood, which is something I'll get into in another video, they actually were affected by breath that was too fast. This study actually revealed that there was an increased blood flow of oxygenated hemoglobin to the anterior part of the prefrontal cortex. Now, this basically means that the area associated with greater problem solving, complex problems, was getting more blood to the brain. Now, this state of being more calm and relaxed and alert is associated with the parasympathetic nervous system. That's the nervous system that is reserved for rest, relaxation, and digestion. which means in this state of being, you're much more likely to be at ease, and your parasympathetic system, which controls autonomic functions such as your digestion, your immune system, your circulatory system, they all work much more coherently, let's say, much more efficiently. One of the best things about this whole study is that the subject showed marked increase in heart rate variability and the brain wave states being affected by only practicing 5 times per week. After those sessions, they didn't have to keep breathing slowly. They had already affected their baseline levels. That's great. That means that you don't have to be doing Wim Hof breath or holotropic breathing every day to see benefits. It simply requires us to think about why we're breathing so fast, and if we can't breathe a little slower. If it has such profound impacts on something that we didn't think was affected by us before, our autonomic nervous system, and is able to bring us to a state of greater coherence, and all of our body's functions can function a lot smoother, including the fact that our mind can work in a better way, be more alert, that means that breathing slowly, just a little more slowly, it's going to have profound impacts on a lot of our lives. We don't have to do it all day. We don't have to do it every day. But if we start to take these steps, it becomes more of a habit. And that's what really excites me about all this, is that it's such a simple tool, and yet these measures are really far-reaching. Ultimately, this is an exciting paper to find because it really shows what Eastern mystics have been discovering for so long, except it removes that sort of, how shall we say, mystical element, and really shows us that we don't need to be trucking off to yoga class, which actually promotes a lot of over-breathing from what I've experienced. And it entices us to simply do this in our daily lives. You could breathe slower when you're commuting, you can breathe slower even when you're reading, or even when you're cooking food. It brings you, in addition to that, in addition to all those health benefits, it also brings you back to something more present, more here, which in the end is calming in itself. I'd love to hear what you think. I'd love it if you do this a few times a week and then tell me what you discover. Tell me how it makes you feel during the process. Check out one of my meditations that I specifically go into slower breathing on my channel, and let me know how it goes for you. I'd love to know if you feel a little more calm, a little more serene, and what you think else we could do with the breath. Because this science is only coming out of the woodworks in the last, well, few years, really. It's been going on for a lot longer, but we have a lot further to go. So thank you so much for watching. I'm wishing you all the best, you and yours. Be well, take care of yourself, and breathe slow.